It's never gonna be super perfect. Your skin is gonna scream if you don't have these two things. It's super, super, super important. Just do a little runway walk. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Nana, your travel advisor bestie, and today we're going to talk about the 10 things that I cannot live without when I go to a long haul flight. So the first thing that I'm going to recommend, I don't have with me, but it's compression stockings. Now I've seen videos of people that, you know, sometimes they hate it, sometimes they don't hate it. I'm going to leave the ones that I think are the best linked below because they are from Amazon and they're not as super tight, like they're not a super tight compression, but they're good enough to give you some sort of like help with the circulation that makes you feel better once you get off the plane. So if you don't know, compression stockings are super important to prevent clots when you're flying. So apart from feeling better once you get off the plane, it's also super important for your health. So I always recommend a good pair of compression stockings. Okay, the second thing is an eye mask, and now I specifically have this one from Trtl and Rêve, I think that's how it's called. And you can see that it's first of all like a Velcro on the back, which is not uncomfortable at all, but it's a pretty big eye mask. And I recommend that you get them in a darker color because sometimes when you get them in a lighter color, you can still see the light going through. So make sure to get a dark color. It doesn't have to be this specific brand, but I do like the fact that this has like, it's a bigger mask, so it covers more and there's less chance of any sort of lighting because we know that it's never really dark in an airplane. And when we want to sleep, we want to have complete darkness. So this one is my favorite and I do use it a lot when I go on a long haul flight. And I love the silk feeling on my eyes. It's super soft, it's not bothersome, so it's a really good eye mask and I love this one. Okay, so the next recommendation, number 3, is to pick a window seat. Now it might be a little bit difficult. There's never like a perfect seat on the plane because like either you have to, if you have to go to the bathroom, you're gonna have to like disturb the people next to you to go to the bathroom. Like it's never gonna be super perfect, but I do think that the window seats just have a teeny tiny bit of more space, and also you can just recline on absolutely anything, the wall here, and it just feels a little bit more comfortable when you're traveling. You could put your pillow, you could just like have a little bit more space for yourself on the side, and it just feels a little bit better. So it's not the perfect, you know, seat. I would say that I would, for a short haul flight, I would recommend the aisle seat because I just prefer to not like have to be bothered if I have to go to the bathroom. I just get up and go. But for a long haul flight, try to like, that little bit of space is just so essential that like it's worth having to bother the people next to you if you have to go to the bathroom. Okay, the fourth one, I also don't have it with me, but it is super common, a good comfortable neck pillow. I'm gonna leave 2 linked below that are my absolute favorite. If you're sitting in the window, it's gonna be perfect because you can put the pillow and you can rest your head on it. Airplanes are already uncomfortable, so with the eye mask and with the little pillow, and if you want this, I wouldn't necessarily like recommend to take because it does take a lot of space, but like if you do have that little bit of extra space, take also like a small blanket. There's a lot on Amazon. I'm gonna link them all below, the ones that I recommend. But I just think those 3 things just create a little bit of a better environment when you're traveling to like make sure that you can sleep even if it's just a little bit. My next recommendation, it is super important, and it is to always keep hydrated. So we've heard that airplanes literally suck the living air out of you and it is such a dry environment, but hydration is super key. It's not only important to like keep yourself hydrated, but it's also another way that you can prevent clots, because if you're dehydrated, you're more prone to get clots. So make sure to always keep hydrated. I do recommend taking your own water bottle and then having it empty, passing TSA, and then filling it up at the airport, or purchasing a big bottle of water once you're in the airport. Because sometimes also in the airplanes, like if there's turbulence, like the staff can't go and like be passing around the snacks and the waters and things like that. So you just want to make sure that you have water with you all the time. because sometimes in the plane it's just very difficult to get some. So always have water with you and stay hydrated because it's super pivotal for your health. My next recommendation, number 6, is to move around a little bit when you're in the plane. So I know that this is sometimes difficult because if there's turbulence, you have to keep seated and your seatbelt fastened, but I highly recommend that if it's safe for you to do, just do a little runway walk in the airplane because it's gonna make you feel better. So if that's before you go to sleep or if you take a nap and you end up waking up, just move around a little bit and make sure that you keep everything moving. Again, a little bit to prevent the clots, but it's just gonna make you feel a little bit better, kind of stretching and kind of like being out of a very uncomfortable seat for a long time. It's just gonna feel a little bit better. So if it's possible and you can do it, I suggest doing a little runway walk and then going back to your seat and just feeling a little bit more refreshed. Okay, the next 2 things do have to do with hydration. Again, as we know, it is super dry on an airplane, so I always recommend any sort of hydrating mist. This one is from a French brand that I got when I was in Paris. There's one from AVÈNE that you can get in the pharmacy. There's also from La Roche-Posay, which I don't know if they come in travel size, but any sort of like small travel size one would work. And I know the super famous one is from EVIAN, but sometimes I don't necessarily do my skincare when I'm on the plane, even though I do use a lot of hydrating products. But sometimes, you know, I don't want to touch my face because I just don't feel comfortable and I don't want to touch my face. So the first thing that just comes to mind, which is an easy way to hydrate your face and your skin, is to use a hydrating mist. So I really do love this one from Uriage and Uriage, I think. And the other thing is a lip balm. Now this one is from NUXE, yeah, the French names I can't even though I know French, but this one is the honey lip balm. This one, the only inconvenience is that it's not in a tube. If you can get one that's in a tube, highly recommend it. I know that NUXE comes out with one that literally looks like a little honey, like it's very cute, but I love this lip mask. It is so hydrating, and like I put it on in the evenings and I wake up with still like a very hydrated feeling. So it's an amazing lip balm. The only bad side is that you have to put your finger in to put it on your lips, but it's much better than the Laneige one that I've tried. I think the Laneige actually dries your lips out, and I just think this NUXE one is so good. Again, like if it's okay, like you can use a little bit of disinfectant or go wash your hands and then put on your lip product. But I recommend having these 2 things with you because you're gonna thank me for not feeling absolutely, your skin is gonna scream if you don't have these. Thing, it is no shocker at all, sunscreen. We've heard from the dermatologist that you're exposed to more UV rays once you're in the air. The sun is just much more harsher if you're in the air, so you have to be protected. So I always recommend that you take a sunscreen with you. This one's from SUPERGOOP. I got it because I was in Europe and I didn't have a sunscreen and I just got the mini one, but there's so many in the pharmacy, in Walgreens, in CVS that you can find that are less than 3 ounces and you can take them with you. And I highly suggest you put it once you get it on the plane and once in the middle of the flight to make sure that you're well protected. It is super, super, super important to be protected. The second to last thing that I'm gonna recommend is a little kind of bag. This one's from Trtl, if I'm not mistaken, but it's just any clear type of bag with all your essentials, especially including like a toothbrush, a travel toothbrush, or your a tiny little hair brush and deodorant, because before you land you might want to freshen up a little bit. So having this and having all the things, the hydrating mist, the lip balm, even your eye mask can fit in here. Just having all these things with you is just a little bit helpful. Now I'm gonna say one thing: when you're brushing your teeth, make sure to use water from a water bottle or from your like reusable water bottle. Do not brush your teeth with the water from the sink in the bathroom, because I don't know, I've just heard things about it and I'm like not gonna risk it. So I rather just like clean my teeth with like a water bottle. So make sure that you also, that's why it's so important to have water with you, because it is super important if you want to brush your teeth. This is just gonna help you feel a little bit better once you get out of the plane. And let's say you can still check into your hotel, you're gonna feel a little bit fresh, and you're gonna be able to go out and do things before you're able to check into your hotel or your Airbnb or wherever you're staying and take a shower. So I always keep some sort of kit with me that has all these essentials, and literally right before I land, I go to the bathroom, I brush my hair, I put my hydrating mist, I brush my teeth, and I put my deodorant just to feel a little bit fresher. You can also use perfume if you want to, but I just highly recommend. And the final thing that I'm going to recommend for a long haul flight, again, I don't have it with me, but it is any sort of sleeping aid, whether it's melatonin, lavender scents, whatever it is that works for you, just take it, because we're in a pretty uncomfortable position. So like it is very difficult to fall asleep in a plane, and with the noises, people eating, or people, you know, like whatever it is, like the noise in the plane like sometimes is uncomfortable, the lighting and things like that, like your position that you're like sitting, which is not a normal state to be like sleeping. So I just highly recommend that you take some sort of sleeping aid, because it's just gonna help you get into that rhythm of falling asleep. And even if you sleep for only a few hours, 1 to 2 hours, it's better than nothing. And you're gonna be able to go to your flight, to your destination, and feel just a teeny tiny bit better, and be able to do things that day, even if you take it as a slow day, but at least you're gonna have a little bit of rest. Those are the 10 things that I recommend for you in your long haul flight. I hope you enjoy this video. Make sure to let me know below what's your favorite thing that you cannot go without in your long haul flight, and make sure to subscribe for more videos. Thank you.